What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video from Gray House Consulting, the place where you're going to learn what they didn't teach you in college. Now today I'm going to go over one of the most painful truths you will ever encounter in your lives. Now what I mean by this is, think about it. You're 18, 19 years old. For the longest time you've been told by your parents, from their grandparents, or whatever the case may be, hey, you need to go to college, be successful. You go to college, you get a job. But how do you get a job without any experience? You've literally been practicing how to do theoretical stuff for the past 4 years. Well, let me go ahead and break it down. If you're 18, 19 years old, you need to watch this video. And you need to continue, because I'm going to tell you the painful truth that your parents didn't teach you, that your grandparents didn't teach you, that nobody taught you. When you take out student loans, you have to pay them back. The government doesn't mess around with it. And right now, in 2018, there's about $1.4 trillion in student debt. $1.4 trillion in student debt. That is just, you can't even put all the money in the world combined to amount to that student debt. Not only that, there is so much going on economically that is just, you need to realize if college is the right investment. So in this video, I'm also going to teach you what you should know before you even get into college. So I'm going to give you a couple of key terms that you need to know off the bat. The first two, subsidized and unsubsidized Stafford loans. Subsidized loans means that those loans are no interest, meaning if you take out $5,000 in student loans, you don't need to worry about having interest built on those. However, that is also similar to the Pell Grant. Now, for undergrads, you are very fortunate to get Pell Grants if you qualify. If you get the Pell Grant, that means it's money you don't have to pay back. Money you don't have to pay back is awesome because it's just, here it is, that's it. And it's best if you go to especially a junior college or a community college and commute from home and get those Pell Grants. Take advantage of them because you don't have to pay them back. There's no interest. It's pretty much no harm, no foul. Now, if you're going to do what pretty much 0.9% students do and take out unsubsidized and subsidized loans, you need to pay attention. So if you take out subsidized loans means if you take out $5,000 at said point interest rate, that means it's going to be worth more, or you're going to have to pay back more because you have to put that interest. Now, one of the things I have to tell you is don't take out loans if you don't need to. Put in the extra hard work. Get a side job. Work in the summer. Work overtime. If you really want to get a college degree, do not put yourself into student debt. And if you really want to be tedious, look for a scholarship. If you can look for a scholarship that fits your needs, you'd be surprised on how much money is out there. But you have to put in the effort. And that is the one thing that nobody will ever teach you other than me and other influences. Put in the goddamn effort. Now, excuse my language, but it gets me so riled up that we're told for the longest time we go to college, we get a good job. If you do go to college, there is a pattern to do it. Me personally, if I could do it all over again, I would commute from home, go to a community college. I would also then transfer to a university, work a part-time job, get some experience, try to move on up, try to learn outside hobbies and outside this. I would take the extra 2-3 years to go to college if that meant that I would not have the student debt. I will tell you that I would take advantage of a Pell Grant because I qualified for it, but I took out student loans and now I have to pay them back. The next thing I want to let you know is, dude, you're 18, 19 years old. You don't know anything about inflation rates, interest rates, subsidized and unsubsidized loans. You're 18, 19 years old. Nobody expects you to know this stuff. And by the time you get out when you're 22, it's like, oh, I have all this debt. How am I going to pay it back if I can't even get a job as a bank teller? So the one thing I want to let you know real quickly, when I applied for jobs right when I was about to graduate with my undergrad degree, I couldn't even get a job as a bank teller. There are people, and I mean dumb people that I know that are bank tellers, and I couldn't even get their job. I had some practical experience. I was a cashier, I was this and I was that. I could not even get a bank teller job. But I'm going to tell you what, if you really feel like college is right for you, you need to reevaluate yourself. So let's go back from here. So let's say you take about $40,000 out in student loans over the course of 4 years. Let's just say in total, let's make it simple. you fail to understand that inflation is going to eat up your money. Meaning, if you put in $40,000 in 2018, by 2022, that money is going to actually be worth less. So meaning, you're going to owe double from that due to interest. Interest and inflation is going to kill you. So $40,000 will probably be around $36,000 in 2022. Then, because that, not only is interest rate doubling on what you owe from your interest, you're probably going to owe around $55,000 due to that. That is a thing that we need you to understand, that inflation and interest rates will kill you. And you will not understand that barely getting out of college at 22 years old trying to get a job. Now, I know it may seem easy, but honestly, one thing I want to let you know, there's certain things you can do. Like I said before, you can commute from home, go ahead and get a part-time job, do part-time classes, go to a community college or a community or junior college that's near you and just work from there. If you qualify for grants or scholarships, take advantage of those. But do not put yourself into student debt if you don't need to. Nobody cares where you graduate from anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you went to the most top college in the state. I've worked alongside people who went to the best universities out in Texas, and I got paid the same thing they did. The only difference was I had a set skill that they don't have. So when I'm telling you this, do not put yourself into debt if you don't need to. Another thing I want you to understand is you have to think, if you're going to college just to go to college, ask yourself why. Are you going to become a lawyer? Are you going to become a doctor? Are you going to become a orthodontist? Are you going to try to become an entrepreneur, or are you going to become a professional? If you're going to become a professional, like a psychologist or maybe a social worker, I completely understand that. But the thing is, why don't you shadow what they do? Why don't you go, if you want to be a doctor, work in a doctor's office. See if that's something that you actually want to do. If you want to be a nurse, work in a doctor's office. If you want to be a therapist, work in a therapist's office. You have to realize most of the time you have never even worked in what you think you want to do, and you have to do that. Just check it out. You never know if you don't try. One of the things that I can tell you is about my college experience. I gotta say, it was fun. It was a learning curve. I had a lot of growing pains, but that is everybody. And one of the things that gets me very upset is you're 18, 19 years old and you're told that if you go to college, you get a successful job. I know people who have no student debt and hundreds of thousands of dollars and they're banking. But I don't want you to do that. Don't make the same mistakes we did. Don't do that, because it's not going to be worth it. You're going to be out and you're going to be miserable. I remember seeing a Time magazine, and this woman is working 2 jobs, donating blood, and she's a teacher, and she's doing all this stuff, and she has a master's degree, and she can't even keep up with her bills. Guys, if you have a kid, if you inflation's going to kill you, if you have multiple jobs, the thing is most of the time, debt will kill you. It will financially, mentally, emotionally kill you. And if you don't need to get into it, don't get into it. I just want you to know that I want to tell you what your parents didn't tell you. Yeah, they may have said go to college, but they didn't tell you about, oh, hey, go to college. I'm not paying for it, so let the government pay for it, but you'll have to pay it back because I can't help you because I don't have the money. Guys, you don't need to do that. Now, if you are fortunate enough to be able to go to college and be able to have stuff paid for you, fine. Make sure you can do it in something that you like, or something that is very productive, or something that's going to allow you to grow. But really, if you fall into the category where you're not as fortunate as others to go to college and not have to worry about debt, don't do it. It's not worth it, because there's certifications and other degree plans and other things that you can do to get that job that you want. And in some cases, there's like, if you go to a library for $1.25 a month and some late fees, that is going to be so much more efficient if you can just simply pick up a book and read. Because honestly, I can only tell you that I probably picked up a book a handful of times in college, and I'll I'll be quite honest with you. When I went to college, you would be surprised on how many kids don't even know how to use Microsoft Word, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive. They don't know how to use Microsoft Excel, the most basic, simple necessary office programs. Most college students could not do that. And I just don't want you to fall into the hamster. I don't want you to be a hamster in a hamster wheel. So, guys, just don't do it if you don't need to. Anyway, guys, I know this video became a little bit of a rant, but it was just something that I saw on Facebook, and it just really hit home to me, and I don't want you to go the struggle that a lot of people go to. If you would like, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section. See if I just really want to know what your opinion is. If you're 18, 19, 17 years old and you have no idea whether college is right for you, send me a message. I would love to help you out. If you're looking for a job, you know where to find me. I'm at Gray House Consult on Instagram. I at Gray House Co. on Twitter. My website is live up and running at grayhouseconsulting.net. And you always know where to find me. So